JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, Kingston woman charged with brother's murder. A woman who swung a metal gate twice at the head of her unconscious brother, following an argument that occurred at Long Lane in Kingston last Thursday, has been charged with his murder. Charged is 56-year-old Desiree Stewart, a housekeeper of the community. The deceased is 68-year-old David Brown. Reports are that on November 11, at about 10 p.m., Stewart and her brother had an argument during which she pushed him. He reportedly fell to the ground, hit his head, and while he was on the ground, she allegedly swung a metal gate and hit him in his head twice. The police said Brown was taken to the Kingston Public Hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. Stewart was taken into custody the same day, where she was questioned and later charged with murder. Peacemaker shot dead at meeting. The killings continued in Westmoreland yesterday, despite a freshly imposed state of public emergency (SOE) in the police division in that parish. One of two men killed was said to be working to bring peace to his community. He has been identified as Shandane Campbell, who is believed to be in his early 20s, and is from the community of Grotto, located near the area where several people were killed over the weekend. Campbell, said to be a university student, was a member of the Peace Management Initiative (PMI). He was gunned down on the compound of a resource center where PMI training was taking place. The identity of the other man, who was found in a pool of blood across the road, has not been ascertained. He was not part of the training. According to Superintendent Robert Gordon, who is in charge of the Westmoreland Police Division, students were at the back of the Wise Mentees Resource Center having lunch when a man walked onto the property, looked around and left. The man reportedly returned approximately 5 minutes later and opened fire, hitting Campbell and another man. According to Superintendent Gordon, he stressed that none of the men were shot by the police. However, Heather Blake, the center administrator, gave a different account of what took place. She said it was one person who was shot dead on the compound. She said the other person was killed across the road on Hudson Street. This was confirmed by a minister of religion who was also on location. The man of the cloth, said Campbell, who died in front of him, was absent from training on Monday but came out yesterday. Superintendent Gordon disclosed that while the motive for the killings was not yet known, the police have identified a person of interest whom they were actively pursuing. One thing I can say to you is that nothing thus far is suggesting that any of the young men are part of any gang or criminal groupings, he said. Blake said her staff and tenants have been traumatized by the incident. She's hoping the police will be able to apprehend the person responsible for the killings, as she spoke of the important work Campbell had been doing in the community. He's a very nice young man who was trying to make a difference. This was actually a PMI training session, and the PMI members go around into the communities, and when people are afraid to talk to the police, they are the ones who they go to, she said. They are like violence interrupters. They assist persons in resolving conflict within the community. Today, we have lost a knowledgeable and respectable young man who could make a difference. Superintendent Gordon said the police have been trying their best with the limited resources available. Indeed, a vast area, we have to be strategic in our deployment. When we do our risk assessments, we deploy accordingly, said Gordon. Unfortunately, there might be an area that did not come up on your radar as a place that you would want to deploy, and an incident happened, he added. Over the weekend, gunmen went on a bloody rampage, killing more than 3 and injuring at least 1 on Ricketts Street and Seaton Crescent. Gang warfare has been attributed to the flip of violence in the area. I want to use this opportunity to say to the residents that this thing has been going on for years, and the only end result is death or displacement. You have the power to stop it, and we're here to work with you to stop it. We seek your support in putting an end to this stupidness and this madness that has been going on for so many years, Superintendent Gordon said. Mechanic killed in crash on Portmore Toll Road. A 41-year-old mechanic died in a traffic accident on the Portmore Toll Road in St. Catherine last night. He has been identified as Kevin Dunn. The accident reportedly occurred at 7:45 p.m. Reports are Dunn was driving a blue Honda Civic when he lost control and swerved into a metal guardrail before hitting a concrete light post. Emergency workers had to cut his body from the wreckage. $1 billion Christmas works. The government has allocated a little more than $1 billion to be spent on what it describes as mitigation works in Jamaica's 63 constituencies in the lead up to the Christmas holidays. Each member of parliament will get $16 million to carry out works in their constituencies. The exercise will be implemented by the National Works Agency. In a breakdown of all the funding will be spent, Prime Minister Andrew Holness said that $7 million of each tranche would be earmarked for road patching, while $4 million has been set aside for bush clearing. Another $3 million has been dispersed to garbage collection and cleaning of communities, while $2 million is to be used for drain cleaning. The Prime Minister warned MPs that the project will be closely monitored by oversight bodies, noting that the government was insisting on value for money for the works carried out. Lawyer accuses witness of implicating client due to dispute over a woman. Another defense attorney in the One Don gang trial has accused the prosecution's second witness of associating his client with the gang because of a disagreement over a woman. During his cross-examination this morning, Courtney Rowe, the lawyer for defendant Michael Miller, otherwise called Easy, claimed that the witness had maliced his client since 2016 after accusing him of impregnating his on and off girlfriend. Earlier this week, another lawyer made a similar argument and was laughed to scorn by the witness. Today, Rowe argued that the disagreement had caused a rift between the two men since that time. However, the witness, who found the lawyer's claim comical, chuckled before declaring that Easy was not in his league. She and Easy were not in a relationship, and if you want to know get her pregnant, you can get her DNA, the lawyer said. The witness also rebuffed a suggestion that he had texted the woman in 2016 saying, "Me didn't know so the boy Easy breed, you know. A long time I know you and him in a sexual relations." The lawyer further tried to paint a picture of the witness being a pedophile. In his cross-examination, the lawyer asked the witness if it wasn't true that the female was 15 in 2014 when he got involved with her when he was 20. "It's not true because I married in 2015, the witness said, while adding that he had started dating her around the time when he bought his car. But at the same time, the ex-gangster admitted that he did not know her age. When asked if she had been a student when they got together, the witness said he had never seen her in uniform or knew of her attending school. The lawyer further implied that the witness has been lying about communicating with his client or working with him in any gang, arguing that they have not spoken since 2016. But the witness said that was not the case, as he and the defendant have had several telephone conversations. Meanwhile, the woman in question made a surprise appearance in court during the lawyer's cross-examination. The witness, who was asked if he knew her when she showed up, called her full name while saying, "She looked black though." During the proceedings, the witness interjected saying, "Can I ask a question?" But the presiding judge, Chief Justice Brian Sykes, told him that he'll get another opportunity. No more shutdowns, says PM. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the government has no plans to shut down the country again, as Jamaicans must now face living with what is now an endemic phase of the novel coronavirus spread. He made the declaration despite noting that the government expects and is preparing for a possible fourth wave of infections, which is likely in January, just after the Christmas season. The Prime Minister noted that some cases of exposure to the novel coronavirus have been reported since about half of the island's public primary schools resumed face-to-face learning last Monday, but was clear that there is no turning back. The government continues to act in the best interest to preserve lives and livelihoods as best as possible. We're being very cautious in reopening. Just to be clear, we're not going to shut down again. We have reopened our schools and we have seen cases reported of possible exposure to COVID-19. We tell them to sanitize, clean up, isolate the child, but we're not going to close the schools again. It is what it is. If it is we have reached this level of frustration with the measures, we can't continue to have that. So we have to take down the measures. We have to do so gradually. And we'll face the brave new COVID world where it is your responsibility to maintain social distance, sanitize, do your own surveillance and find a way, Holness stated. He said also that there will come a point when there are only a fixed number of hospital beds designated for COVID-19 patients, as services to other patients have suffered because of the strain on the public health system. Jamaica has recorded 90,341 cases of COVID-19 since March 10 last year and 2,331 deaths. There were 358 people in hospital up to yesterday. Of the number of people infected, 61,024 have recovered. Yesterday, Holness re-emphasized that Jamaicans must now assume full responsibility for their protection against COVID-19. We know how to cope after almost 2 years of pleadings and exhortations and measures. We know of all the vaccines that we need. Access to the vaccine is no longer an issue, he stated, pointing out that, even at this endemic stage, COVID-19 still needs to be managed. The Health and Wellness Ministry reported that up to 5 p.m. yesterday, it had administered 1,058,139 doses of COVID-19 vaccines. Of that number, 572,497 were first doses, 420,638 were second doses, and 60,974 were single doses. Holness lamented that Jamaica is still lagging well behind the region with a vaccination rate so low that it has not had an impact on transmission of the virus. He said there has been a slight uptick in take-up with the reintroduction of the Pfizer vaccine. The ministry is now offering first and second doses of Pfizer to Jamaicans aged 50 and older. 29 new COVID-19 cases in Jamaica, no death reported. The Ministry of Health and Wellness reported 29 new COVID-19 cases on Tuesday, November 16, bringing the local infection total to 90,370. The new cases comprise 15 females and 14 males, with ages ranging from 31 days to 82 years. The cases were recorded in St. Catherine 7, Kingston and St. Andrew 6, St. Mary 5, St. James 4, Clarendon 2, Hanover 2, St. Anne 2, and St. Elizabeth 1. In the meantime, 114 more people recovered in the last 24 hours, bringing total recoveries to 61,138. Currently, 182 people are hospitalized, 29 of which are severely ill, while 8 are critically ill and 49 are moderately ill. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.